Imagine a world where you're always the smallest, the one everyone says won't make it. Well, that was Muggsy Bogues' life. A guy who defied all odds at just 5 feet 3 inches tall. In the NBA universe, where giants rule the court, Muggsy showed that size is just an insignificant detail when you have incredible quickness and a will to win. He didn't just break stereotypes, he taught a valuable lesson. When you know who you are, the impossible becomes motivation. Curious about how he did it? Get ready to discover how one of the shortest players in history proved that heart is what really matters in the NBA. From a young age, Muggsy showed that he wasn't one to back down, even with his 5 feet 3 inches frame. Growing up in the tough streets of Baltimore, he faced challenges that most people can't imagine, and that's where he developed his incredible quickness and sharp court vision. Amid the harshness of daily life, the basketball court became his refuge, a place where he could be more than his height. Have you ever thought about how often people doubt who you are or what you can do just because of appearances? That's how Muggsy began to shape his story, showing that, in the end, size was just a detail. Muggsy arrived at Wake Forest University and quickly showed that his incredible quickness more than made up for his lack of height. At 5 feet 3 inches, he challenged players who initially underestimated him. Soon, he was on the radar, earning all ACC honors and leading the team on the court. Imagine what it's like to be a giant, even at a height many consider insufficient for the sport. The curious thing is that when you're driven by passion, physical limitations become just another obstacle to overcome, and Muggsy had already mastered that art. Being drafted into the NBA was a milestone, but Muggsy knew his 5 feet 3 inches height would attract a lot of skepticism. When he joined the Washington Bullets, he found himself in an environment where few believed a guy like him could compete. But Muggsy quickly showed that his incredible quickness wasn't just a detail, it was his weapon. Have you ever walked into a place where everyone thought you wouldn't last? He shared the court with giants like Manu Ginobili, creating a striking contrast, but it was there that he began to shatter every doubt, one play at a time. Joining the Charlotte Hornets, Muggsy found the perfect environment to show that his 5 feet 3 inches frame was actually an advantage. His incredible quickness and passing skills made him indispensable to the team, especially alongside stars like Larry Johnson and Alonzo Mourning. There, Muggsy didn't just lead, he became the heart of the team, guiding the Hornets to the playoffs and inspiring an entire city. Have you ever felt the impact of having someone who believes in you, even when no one else does? That was Muggsy for the Hornets. Muggsy may have been 5 feet 3 inches tall, but his achievements place him among the greats. He amassed over 6,000 assists and 1,300 steals throughout his career, a true feat for any player regardless of size. His incredible quickness was a constant threat to opponents, making him one of the best point guards of his era. And if you've ever been underestimated, you know how satisfying it is to prove that, with persistence, any record can be broken. Muggsy not only proved his worth but also became a beacon for anyone with big dreams, even when the world says it's impossible. Standing at 5 feet 3 inches, Muggsy didn't shy away from facing much taller opponents. His incredible quickness allowed him to steal the ball and disrupt opponents' offenses, acting like a shadow that was impossible to ignore. Defense was his art. Not only did he bother opponents, but he also anticipated moves, positioning himself just right. Imagine what it's like to be the one no one expects, yet still be the first to act. Muggsy didn't just play basketball. He taught that defense is as crucial as offense, something many only learn through experience. Muggsy Bogues proved that his 5 feet 3 inches height wasn't a limit but an inspiration for everyone around him. Off the court, he used his incredible quickness of mind to impact lives, whether through mentoring or motivational speaking. He became a symbol of resilience, showing that the impossible is just a matter of perspective. Do you know that moment when you doubt yourself? Muggsy dedicated his life to teaching that those are the moments when we must persist. His journey didn't end with basketball, it expanded, touching everyone who's ever felt too small to dream big. After saying goodbye to the NBA, Muggsy continued to impact the world, showing that his 5 feet 3 inches height and incredible quickness still had a lot to offer. He ventured into coaching, inspired young talents, and shared his story through documentaries that highlight his resilience and passion. More than just a player, he became a living legend, inspiring those who seek to overcome barriers. After all, as he demonstrated, legacy isn't measured in trophies but in the impact you make. And so he continued, proving that even off the court, his spirit never stopped competing. So, after all this, what's stopping you from believing in your own potential? Muggsy Bogues proved that it's not size that defines you but the grit and incredible quickness with which you respond to challenges. Have you ever wondered what you could achieve if you ignored the limits others place on you? Then why not take inspiration from Muggsy's journey and apply that lesson to your life? If you want to keep learning from stories that defy common beliefs, subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and stay tuned for more content that will transform the way you see the world. Don't miss your chance to grow with each new story.